Did you know the Eiffel Tower was almost torn down after just 20 years? Or that its creator, Gustave Eiffel, risked his entire career and fortune to make it a reality? Stay with us as we unravel the untold story of how the world's most iconic tower rose against all odds, and how a groundbreaking scientific discovery saved it from demolition. In this documentary, we'll dive deep into the challenges, controversies, and triumphs that shaped the Eiffel Tower's extraordinary journey. By the end, you'll see this global icon in a whole new light. Chapter 1: A Mad Dream. In 1884, Paris was abuzz with plans for the upcoming World's Fair, known as the Exposition Universelle of 1889. The city needed something extraordinary, a centerpiece that would capture the world's attention and celebrate the centennial of the French Revolution. Enter Gustave Eiffel, a civil engineer and entrepreneur who had already made a name for himself with impressive projects like railway bridges and the internal framework of the Statue of Liberty. Eiffel's vision was bold, even audacious, a tower made entirely of iron, soaring 300 meters into the sky. At the time, no structure had ever reached such heights. The idea of an iron tower was revolutionary. Most monumental buildings relied on stone or brick. Critics dismissed the design as impractical and ugly, calling it a giraffe and a monstrous chimney. Still, Eiffel and his team pressed forward, confident in their calculations and their dream. The opposition to the Eiffel Tower came from all corners of society. A group of influential artists and intellectuals published a scathing letter in the newspaper Le Temps, titled "The Protest of the Artists Against the Tower of Monsieur Eiffel." Among the signatories were the likes of Guy de Maupassant and Charles Gounod, who called the proposed structure useless and monstrous. Their disdain was rooted in a belief that the tower's industrial aesthetic clashed with Paris's classical architecture. They envisioned the city as a haven of artistic beauty, not a playground for modern engineering. However, Eiffel had allies in the scientific community who saw the potential for the tower to be more than just a monument. They argued that its height and design could serve as a laboratory for experiments in physics and meteorology. Eiffel seized on this idea, pitching the tower as a dual-purpose structure that would combine art and science. His pitch was compelling enough to secure approval from the French government, albeit with the stipulation that he would fund most of the construction himself. Chapter 2: Challenges and Triumphs. The construction of the Eiffel Tower began in January 1887 on the Champ de Mars, a large public green space by the Seine River. From the outset, the project faced monumental challenges. The site's marshy soil required innovative engineering techniques to ensure the tower's stability. Workers drove massive wooden piles deep into the ground to create a solid foundation. On top of these, they poured concrete and erected iron base plates to support the tower's immense weight. Safety was another major concern. In an era without modern safety equipment, constructing a 300-meter iron tower posed significant risks. Eiffel implemented pioneering safety measures, including the use of guardrails, movable scaffolding, and hydraulic lifts to reduce the strain on workers. Even so, the task was grueling and dangerous. More than 300 laborers, many of them skilled riveters and welders, worked in harsh conditions to assemble the tower's 18,000 iron parts. Precision was key, as even a minor misalignment could compromise the entire structure. Progress was not without setbacks. Unseasonably harsh weather delayed the work at times, and the sheer logistics of transporting and assembling the iron components required meticulous planning. Each piece of the tower's framework was prefabricated in a workshop and transported to the site. There, workers used cranes and pulleys to hoist the parts into position, where they were fastened together with over 2.5 million rivets. The precision engineering and teamwork involved in this process were nothing short of extraordinary. By mid-1888, the first platform was complete, and the tower's skeletal frame began to rise above Paris. Spectators gathered to watch the tower take shape, their initial skepticism giving way to curiosity and admiration. Gustave Eiffel himself often climbed the structure to oversee the work, earning the respect of his team. His hands-on approach and unwavering commitment inspired those around him, turning the construction site into a symbol of innovation and perseverance. By March 1889, just over 2 years after construction began, the Eiffel Tower was complete. It stood as a testament to human ingenuity and engineering prowess, towering over every other structure on Earth. It wasn't just a marvel of engineering, it was a statement that France was at the forefront of industrial and cultural progress. Chapter 3: Financial Struggles. Building the Eiffel Tower was a monumental financial undertaking. While Eiffel secured partial funding from the French government, the majority of the costs fell on his shoulders. To finance the project, he used his own resources and sought private investors. However, as expenses mounted, he needed additional revenue streams. At the same time, Eiffel was involved in another ambitious project, building locks for the Panama Canal. This endeavor, which promised to revolutionize global shipping, turned into a financial nightmare. The Panama Canal project faced massive cost overruns and allegations of corruption. Investors lost millions, and Eiffel's reputation suffered as a result. Though he was not directly implicated in the fraud, his association with the project cast a shadow over his career. The financial strain from the canal project nearly jeopardized the Eiffel Tower's completion. Yet, Eiffel's determination kept the project on track. He negotiated lucrative concessions, including exclusive rights to operate the tower for 20 years. This deal allowed him to recoup his investment and eventually turn a profit through ticket sales and concessions during the World's Fair. The financial gamble paid off when the Eiffel Tower became the centerpiece of the 1889 Exposition Universelle. Visitors flocked to the tower, with over 2 million people ascending its platforms during the fair. The ticket sales alone brought in significant revenue, proving that Eiffel's risk was worth it. Chapter 4: Scandal and Redemption. In 1892, the Panama Canal scandal erupted, shaking the foundations of French politics and business. Hundreds of prominent figures were accused of bribery and embezzlement. Gustave Eiffel, as one of the canal's contractors, faced intense scrutiny. Though he denied any wrongdoing, he was convicted of financial mismanagement and sentenced to 2 years in prison. The conviction was later overturned by the Court of Appeal, but the damage to his reputation was irreparable. Despite this setback, Eiffel refused to let the scandal define him. He turned his focus back to the Eiffel Tower, using it as a platform for scientific and technological innovation. He conducted experiments on aerodynamics, weather observation, and wireless communication, demonstrating the tower's potential beyond its role as a tourist attraction. Chapter 5: The Tower's Triumph. When the Eiffel Tower opened to the public during the 1889 Paris Exposition, it was met with awe and wonder. Over 2 million visitors ascended the tower that year, marveling at the breathtaking views of Paris. The tower quickly became a symbol of modernity, representing France's industrial and cultural achievements. However, the Eiffel Tower's future was uncertain. Its original permit allowed it to stand for only 20 years, after which it was to be dismantled. Eiffel knew that the tower's survival depended on proving its utility. To this end, he offered its use for scientific research and military applications. By the early 20th century, the Eiffel Tower was at the forefront of wireless telegraphy, playing a critical role in advancing global communications. The Eiffel Tower's story is one of audacity, resilience, and reinvention. From a controversial concept to a beacon of progress, it's a testament to human ingenuity. Gustave Eiffel's masterpiece has inspired generations, proving that even the wildest dreams can become reality. Today, the Eiffel Tower stands not just as a symbol of France, but as an icon of human achievement. What lessons can we learn from its story? Perhaps the most important is that persistence and innovation can overcome even the greatest obstacles. So, the next time you gaze upon the Eiffel Tower, remember the extraordinary journey that brought it to life.